Who is Liam Payne? I ask myself this question every single day. I don't know the answer. I'm still trying to figure it out.
On the surface, it seemed like Liam Payne had it all. Talent, looks, fame, money. But privately, things were far from perfect. After 6 beautiful years as a member of the boy band One Direction, Liam got dragged down by bad press, hard drugs, and dark thoughts. It all came to a tragic end on a hotel balcony in Argentina on October 16th, 2024. This is the story of his life and death. From chart-topping heights to a fall that no one saw coming. Unravel the mystery of his final days, today on Death in Entertainment.
Live from Los Angeles.
911, what is your emergency?
Here in Hollywood now.
2 counts of murder,
Injury and death.
Oh my God!
Shocking new details
that has stunned the entertainment world.
This makes me a little nervous.
The hair stood up on my arms.
Just like in the movies.
What do you call this thing anyway?
Death
in
Entertainment.
Greetings, Deado Universe.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on? How are you?
Oh, that's great.
Fantastique. Welcome to another edition of Death in Entertainment. My name is Kyle Ploof.
And I'm Alejandro Dowling.
And today we are getting, this is probably the quickest turnaround we've ever had for a celebrity death.
I'm trying to think. We did Anne Heche fairly fast.
Gabby Petito.
Yeah.
Of course, we are talking about Liam Payne from One Direction.
Not even a week has passed.
That's right.
Since he passed.
Yeah. I'm surprised that we already have autopsy results because they usually take much longer than, less than a week.
And a partial toxicology report. There's a very exciting new drug they found in his system.
Oh.
By exciting, I mean it has an intriguing name.
Yes.
How's that for a teaser?
Whoa. Teasing it. And before we get into it, we just have to let you know. Trigger warning. We are a true crime comedy podcast, so there will be laughs. All right? And if that ain't your thing, then check into another hotel.
If you don't think tragedy is hilarious, then you need to go somewhere else.
Head the other direction.
Whoa!
Hey.
You see that? You warned people there'd be jokes.
Right
and
there.
You made a big fat joke.
Pow! Right in the kisser. Let's get into it.
Liam Payne. He was born in Wolverhampton, England.
Wolverhampton?
Have you heard of this place?
I have not.
It almost sounds like a 80s metal band.
Well, we're going to see Wolverhampton. Whoa, Wolverhampton. Sunday.
Actually, it's fairly populated.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be some tiny little town, but it's got like 250,000 people living there.
That's a lot of people.
That's like 4 or 5 Fond du Lacs.
Yeah. It's near Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Liam entered this world on August 29th, 1993.
Oh.
Can you believe it?
Another August baby.
In 1993, that was the summer of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And the Michael Jackson allegations.
Oh, boy. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, Clinton was our new president.
What a year.
Economy was good.
Mm-hmm. Blowjobs aplenty.
Oh, you're talking about MJ or Clinton?
Yes.
So I'm glad you had that warning at the beginning.
Yeah.
Liam was the son of a nurse named Karen and a mechanic named Jeff.
Oh.
But this is the English Jeff. Geoff.
Geoff.
Yeah, that's how we pronounce it, but they say Jeff.
Nice.
Liam had 2 older sisters named Nicola and Ruth.
Wow.
Ruth got kind of the short shrift on that one.
Yeah, Ruth. Gertrude.
I'd like you to meet Nicola and Ruth.
Ruth, get your room, Ruth.
You should never have a name that you age into.
Yeah. Way late in life.
So Liam was born 3 weeks premature. And because of that, he suffered frequent illnesses.
Oh, damn.
By age 4 or 5, he had kidney problems.
Jeez.
But they took care of it. He survived.
That's good.
He was an outgoing kid, loved theater and sports. So he was one of those. He could do everything.
That was like me.
Yeah, he was friends with the jocks and the chorus kids.
Mm-hmm. Doing West Side Story, snapping and dancing around, and then going to baseball practice.
Pretty much, except it was soccer, or football as they call it.
Football.
And then instead of West Side Story, it was Saturday Night Fever.
Oh.
Where he played Tony Manero, John Travolta's character.
Wow.
I'm trying to picture that. A school production of Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
Seems odd to me.
With the racial slurs flying around.
Oh, God.
There's a lot.
And also just all the disco dancing.
Yeah.
Does that really translate to the stage? Who wants to just go watch people dance to disco music? It's like you're back at Studio 54 in a drug-induced haze, just sitting there, watching everybody.
Oh, you can't tell by the way I use my work.
Now, I wonder if he sang in that. That might be kind of fun if they actually sang the song.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody has tape of it. Put it out. Release the tapes.
Yes. So this all led to him wanting to be a superstar. In 2008, when he was 14 years old, Liam auditioned for...
The X Factor.
That's correct. The British X Factor.
I had no idea this is where they came from. I just watched their auditions. And they're just babies.
Yeah.
And it's so weird seeing Harry Styles there with his mom. And I'm sure they were like planted in there. And they were, I don't know if they were planted by Simon Cowell or he naturally actually just picked them and formed them together after they auditioned.
Well, I can tell you.
Oh.
They weren't plants.
They were not.
They were humans.
Oh, hey, nice.
No, but also they weren't planted there. They were actually from working class backgrounds, all of them.
Wow. That's what they want you to think.
Well, that's everyone's story, isn't it? Like Anna Nicole Smith was dirt poor.
Yeah.
All 5 of them auditioned, but the thing is, not in 2008. Liam was the only one that early.
Oi!
He gave a great audition. They liked him. Then he was cut, and then he was brought back. And we have a little clip of his experience, actually.
Okay.
At school, Liam's a big star on the basketball team, but in his heart, he's always wanted to be a star of a different kind.
When I first started singing, it was like giving me a bit of stick, but I enjoy both of them.
And Liam Fields has got a lot in common with a hero from his favourite film.
With Troy on High School Musical, he has the same problem, but like he decided to do both, and that's exactly what I've done. And the story of High School Musical is basically what I do.
And Liam feels luckier than most to be here, having initially been given a no at boot camp.
It's bad news.
How did you feel with that whole boot camp scenario?
Well, I felt rotten-eyed and I felt really bad.
But moments later, the judges threw Liam a lifeline.
We've changed our mind.
It's nice to believe that the biggest man in like this business is telling you that he's got faith in you. I know how much I want it now. I want it so bad.
We've changed our minds.
What a terrible whirlwind to put these kids through.
Oh, it's awful.
And right after that clip, that was in one of the home visit episodes, Simon cuts him again. He's like, I've got some bad news for you again.
I've sold your house.
Then Liam's about to walk away and Simon goes, but come back in 2 years. When you're ready.
Come back when you're younger.
2010, if I do my math correctly.
Sure.
He returns to the X Factor. But wouldn't you know it, he's cut again.
It just makes me sick looking at you.
I'm starting to think that Simon is torturing him on purpose.
He's a sadist.
Yeah, he's getting off on this.
Absolutely.
But then Nicole Scherzinger, one of the judges, chimes in that maybe they could collect all the rejects and form a supergroup.
Ooh.
So they formed one female group, which nobody remembers or cares about. Nothing against them.
What are you, Simon Cowell over here?
And then they formed a male group.
Nobody fucking remember you.
And called it One Direction.
Oh.
So the 5 members are Liam Payne, of course, finally getting his yes. And then Niall Horan, Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, and Zayn Malik. Liam was the de facto leader, taking center stage and handling the main vocals.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Take that, Harry.
Because I think every group kind of has a leader, or the boy bands,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
who can sing the best. Like Backstreet Boys, maybe Nick Carter.
I don't know if he could sing the best, but he was like the most attractive to a lot of girls.
Okay,
out
so
there.
that's all that matters.
I think that's really all that matters.
Put him front. But the thing is, in One Direction, I think they're all pretty equally good looking, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know how every band has like a dog?
Yeah.
Like In Sync, that one guy with like the weird dreads.
Chris Kirkpatrick.
Yes, thank you.
I almost said
Like,
Chris
come on.
Christopherson.
Come on, like what is he doing there?
Yeah. He actually was on the Ellen show when NSYNC was there, and she was like, "Do you guys like still talk to each other?" And he was about to say no, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're all on the same text thread." And he was looking around like, "I haven't been on that text thread."
Oh fuck! Too ugly for the text thread.
Jeez.
How awful.
Yeah, that's not a great way to find out on national television.
No. Well, Ellen probably did that on purpose.
That's true too. She's a snake.
Another sadist.
Yeah.
This is all checking out. Because remember, she was once a judge on American Idol alongside Simon.
Ellen was?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. That's
Oh,
crazy.
really?
Ellen.
That was big news at the time.
American Idol?
It was not well received. So,
Wow, I have not. This is Mandela effect. I don't even remember her being there.
or that's kind. What would you call that? That's not even Mandela because you don't even remember.
Yeah.
It would be Mandela if you remember.
I thought it was
being
Anne
on
Heche.
it, and she wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in your head, Anne Heche was the judge. Got
Yeah.
it. Anyway, so now there's supergroup One Direction, X Factor. Guess who wins the competition?
X Factor. Oh, One Direction. X Factor wins always.
Nope, some other group that nobody remembers or cares about.
Wow.
One Direction came in third place.
I mean, that's where you want to end up. All the people in American Idol that finish first, it's usually the guys that are in second and third that do the best.
You know, I think you're onto something because the Queen guy,
Adam
Lambert,
Yes.
he did not win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Clay Aiken won.
Clay Aiken was number 2 to Ruben Studdard.
And then most famously, Jennifer Hudson, I don't think was even in the top 5.
Wow.
And she won an Oscar a year later.
She's huge.
So they came in third place. And as you mentioned, that's actually a win for them because Simon still saw their potential. Or should I say, he saw potential in making a lot of money out of them.
Cha-ching.
He signed them to his company, Psycho Entertainment.
Psycho, I'm a fucking psycho, man.
And by the way, that's spelled SYCO. Pretty clever, huh? What a psycho.
Psycho Simon, everybody knows me.
In 2011, they released their first single, What Makes You Beautiful. It was a big international hit.
Girl, you know you're beautiful.
That was played quite a bit.
Uh-oh.
Let's get this out of the way right now. You just told me before we started recording that you realized you did know a lot of One Direction songs without really processing it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was One Direction, but there's a bunch of songs that my old lady put on YouTube, and we were listening to when we found out that Liam had passed away. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I know and like all these songs.
And you liked them.
And I liked them, yeah.
So they were laying dormant in your subconscious.
Yeah, Night Changes is a great one. Very good song. Even when the night changes.
I was almost going to say they have to be one of the biggest bands to have the least memorable song catalog.
Oh, man, they've had some huge ones. I'm sure you would know more than you're letting on.
I mean, I've heard some doing the research now.
Yeah.
And I do remember that beautiful song, I guess.
Baby, I'm perfect for you.
But really think about it. They don't have one song that's like, Backstreet's back, all right.
Not to your age, but Kaylina's age and younger, yeah.
What are you calling me, old?
Yes.
The Beatles. I mean, they got like 100 songs you can sing along to.
Well, yeah, that's because that's a psyop.
Strawberry Fields Forever.
I truly believe that's a psyop that everyone just says their favorite band is the Beatles because I just don't get it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it's better than the Beatles.
You don't believe that.
Limp Bizkit is the Beatles of nu metal.
Well, that's true.
Limp Bizkit is the Beatles of music.
Yeah, that's more untrue, but hey, everyone has their opinion, right?
Yeah.
They're like assholes' opinions.
Yeah. Most people have them.
And sometimes an asshole gives their opinion.
That's right.
All right, so I like that we disagree, though, because you represent, I would say, a larger chunk of the music listening population.
Yeah.
So they followed their first big single with their first big album. Same year, 2011, called Up All Night. And get this, they were the first UK band to have their first album debut at #1 in the US.
Take that, Beatles.
The Beatles didn't even do it.
Take that.
The Beatles released Meet the Beatles, and everyone was like, no, thank you.
No thanks.
We're not opening the door. And then they really became the biggest boy band in the world. But do they have that much competition really at that time? Like, how many boy bands are running at the same time?
I don't know if it counts. 5 Seconds of Summer, I remember, was one.
Not really, though.
But they were more like rock, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Justin Bieber was huge at the time.
But he's not a boy band.
Not a band, correct.
He didn't need anybody else.
Yeah, the mid-2000s was pretty much going in one direction.
They also released books, as every boy band does. You know, like Our Story. And then went on big tours and sold a lot of tickets.
It looks like on Quora, which is the place you go.
Of course.
Which boy band or boy group was the biggest rival of One Direction in their prime? People are saying there wasn't much competition, and some people are saying some K-pop bands were like coming out at that time.
Oh, please, come on.
Yeah.
That's 10 years too early for that.
The Wanted, someone.
No way. See, I was right. I know what I'm talking about here.
No, you're definitely right.
In 2013, One Direction released their third album, Midnight Memories, accompanied by a world tour that grossed just south of $300 million.
Ooh, wee.
Can you count that high?
No.
And then they also released a 3D movie called This Is Us.
Oh, that's right.
By the way, the TV show copied that title, so they were influential in that way. The title was also shortened to 1D, 3D. Isn't that clever?
I like that.
So in cinemas, it grossed about $69 million, which is very good for a concert movie.
It's pretty good.
It was directed by the late Morgan Spurlock.
Oh.
And everybody was scratching their head at the time, like, what the hell is he doing directing a One Direction documentary?
Drinking his face off.
Reminder to the audience, this is the director of Super Size Me.
Yeah.
And he died last spring.
Yes. That's so funny that the biggest thing was like in Super Size Me, they're like, we have never seen these numbers outside of like a severe alcoholic. And he's like, oh, that's crazy. And then we found out that he was hiding as alcoholism the whole time he was doing that movie.
Right. The doctors are looking at him. Wow, these Big Macs are slurring your speech.
Yeah.
Their fourth album, titled, you're not going to believe the title, 4.
Whoa!
Made history. One Direction is the first band to have their first 4 albums debut at #1.
Take that, Beatles. Stick that in your haircut, isn't it?
4. That's so creative. They might as well have named the album.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Or Songs.
Genius.
Well, in 2015, first major tragedy in One Direction history.
Oh, no.
Let's play the clip.
I can't go to work today. I have to call in sick. A family emergency. Damn it, this is a fucking joke. I can't believe this. Mom, Zayn Malik left One Direction! No!
Oh, man.
I remember when Zayn decided to pack his bags and drop out of the band.
Wow. So Harry's getting like third fiddle treatment here. When he's come out, the Justin Timberlake of the whole operation.
Well, yeah, it's like he grew into a superstar.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's true. Liam really was sort of the center of the band for a while.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's again, it goes to the whole American Idol theory where second or third place usually does better than first. So, I mean.
Wow, even within the band.
Within its own self.
Same with Zayn, too, because I would say Zayn and Harry are the most famous ones.
Yeah, I mean, Zayn, I might know some of his like solo stuff. I know who he is, kind of.
He did a song called Pillow Talk that was popular.
Oh, okay. Not doing it for me.
Okay. Maybe it's still in your subconscious somewhere.
It could be.
But I also remember he was a big target of tabloids when he left the band. For some reason, that was It was such big news that I knew about it.
You were
when
keeping
it
up with your
happened,
rags.
and I didn't even know their music, all right? Because then he started dating Gigi Hadid, the most famous model in the world. Constantly, there were stories about him.
Right. Oh, now Bradley Cooper's dating her.
Oh, Gigi Hadid?
Yeah.
Wow.
They stepped out together in LA, people.com says.
Huh.
They're spending time together.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that.
You don't like that?
I don't really care, though, either. So. Remember when they pretended like he was dating Lady Gaga after they made Star is Born?
Yep.
Who believed that one?
In the hello.
Well, at least Lady Gaga has been in one decent musical movie.
Hello. Joker sucks.
We need Trey Parker and Matt Stone to write a song about it. I love you as much as Joker 2 sucks.
What's that? That's a lot.
So yeah, the departure of Zayn really threw a wrench in the One Direction machine. They were a bit lost.
Yeah.
Directionless.
Nice.
The group lasted about a year after that. They disbanded after one more album. It was announced as a break and then turned to indefinite hiatus.
Damn.
Around this time, Liam started dating a pop singer named Cheryl. She was part of a girl group called Girls Aloud. Their biggest song is called The Promise.
Wow.
She was 10 years older than him. So he was going for the cougars.
Robbing the cradle.
And this I thought was interesting. Cheryl was one of his judges on the X Factor.
Ooh.
And in March 2017, she gave birth to their son, Bear.
Oh, wow.
Did you know he was a father?
No. Damn.
He was happy to be a dad. He told the Mirror, the publication, not the object, quote, "My life now is his. My money is his. I have actually got several..." I should do an accent with this probably. "I've got several companies that are up and running that I know he can run one day if he wants to."
Fuck, isn't it?
Sadly, Liam and Cheryl broke up in 2018. So Liam has always been somewhat controversial in the band. In 2014, he tweeted at one of the Duck Dynasty guys, Willie Boss Hogg, praising his values.
Oh, boy.
And this Willie guy, do you remember this show?
Oh, yeah.
He had very evangelical views and compared homosexuality to bestiality.
Yeah.
I like how they think that because people of the same sex get together, that they also want to fuck a lizard.
Yeah.
Or a yak. Like it's the same thing.
Makes me want a yak. Like you sell duck collars, dude. Relax.
Later on, Liam hung out with them and posted photos on his social media.
Got to meet the dynasty.
Yeah. Is that still around? I hope not.
They are as a family, but I don't think that show is.
Well, yeah, I didn't think the family was wiped out. I was talking about the show.
The Ducks got their revenge.
Needless to say, One Direction fans were confused. Like, what is Liam thinking?
Who are you?
Yeah.
What's going on up there?
Then in 2015, it became kind of popular to wave pride flags around during their concerts. In an interview with a gay magazine in the UK, Liam said that he thinks fans were doing that because of the salacious rumors surrounding Louis Tomlinson and Harry Styles.
Oh.
Some people had this idea that Louis and Harry were bonking each other.
Bonk.
So that's why all the fans were probably waving those pride flags.
Yeah.
Then some people were like, no, Liam, it's because they're gay and support gay rights.
Right.
It has nothing to do with Louis and Harry. So then Mr. Styles went into damage control. During performances, he would wrap himself in the pride flag and then run across the stage.
Damn.
And he did that for the rest of the tour after Liam gave that interview.
Ooh.
So that's a company man right there.
Yeah.
Because Liam is threatening to sink this ship with his homophobic views.
He's like, go ahead.
And Harry's like, no, we're gay, we're gay.
I just want to know what's your deal with the gays.
I can't decide like if he actually was homophobic or not. You know, he could just be like a young guy putting his foot in his mouth.
Yeah.
Do you have any joke about what I just said?
No.
Okay. So let's get to his solo career. One Direction, as we've already said, huge.
Yes, but because they didn't have much competition is what you're saying?
No, anyway, I'm on to a new point now,
Okay.
which is that they're so big and famous that they also can have huge solo careers separate from the band.
Yes.
All of them, really, except one.
Ooh.
Liam Payne.
Oh, shit.
He released his first album in 2019, 2 years after Harry Styles released his first album. Why did he take so long?
Why?
You couldn't come up with something sooner.
Oh.
He wasn't as hungry as Harry.
Sure.
The album was called LP1, and it sold about 9,000 copies in its first week of release. No, Kyle, come on. This guy is from One Direction.
Yeah.
They're used to selling millions of copies.
Yeah.
And it peaked at number 17 on the UK albums chart and 111 on the Billboard 200.
Damn.
It also received bad reviews. A critic from The Independent called him a singing six-pack with no personality.
Wow.
He had a big song called Strip That Down, biggest hit from the album, and it was hyper-sexualized. But other than that, it was considered a flop. The overall consensus is that he didn't have any personality in the music. They were just factory songs.
They're just shitting out music.
Yeah, off the conveyor belt.
Wow.
And then he says he got pigeonholed into the whole sexual thing because his most successful song was Strip That Down.
He feels like he was given bad advice.
Yeah, so he kind of exploited that side based on that song.
Mm.
And I listened to the song. I was expecting it to be really bad because a lot of people have been making fun of it. But I didn't think it was that bad, actually.
Wow.
I thought it was a pretty solid effort.
Wow.
Yeah.
Washboard abs. You were into it.
What do you all think?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it on mute, but...
That was pretty good.
Pretty great. But this is the larger problem about Liam's identity. He was confused about who he was. Through the years, he had been open about his struggles with mental health and substance abuse. He talked about how in all the years of One Direction, he would be locked in hotel rooms. The record company, in order to protect them, would lock him in the hotel rooms. Not literally, but they basically said, just hang out here so that nobody can bother you.
Mm.
His days consisted of going from the hotel room to the car, to the concert venue, and then back again. While he'd be locked up in the hotel rooms, there'd be mini bars.
Hey.
And then he would empty the mini bars. And thus started a habit of him drinking alone.
Mm.
And not just having a couple of drinks, getting inebriated.
Having the whole mini bar. That's expensive.
Yeah, I wonder if he went really wild and ordered one of the porn films.
Oh, I'm sure.
Off pay-per-view.
Dirty movies.
Could you imagine doing that and drinking from the mini bar?
We lost money on the toll, Liam.
You ordered Debbie Does Dallas.
Drinking and having a wank.
Because of his identity crisis and substance abuse issues, he often wrestled with dark thoughts. He spoke about this in an interview from 2019.
Toughest thing to wrestle.
There's times where that level of loneliness and people getting into you every day, like I say, it just every so often you're like, when will they send? You know, and then so, like, that's almost nearly killed me a couple of times.
Mm. So I think that there's nothing worse for an active addict than to be filthy rich.
Yeah.
Liam and Louis were the ones who wrote the most songs during the One Direction heyday. He actually wrote 31 total.
Wow.
And his net worth was over $50 million. Just his net worth alone.
Wow.
1/5 of One Direction.
Cha-ching.
That also meant that he could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
And he could buy as many drugs as he wanted.
Yeah, and there's no shortage of people that want to hang out with you and give you drugs for free, too. And then there's people that'll rip you off and call you stupid, just like Matthew Perry went through.
Exactly. We've heard this story a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then another thing happened in the post-One Direction years. He started trying to relive his glory days, chasing the high.
Chasing the dragon.
Some people thought he was acting like a fan rather than someone who was actually in One Direction. little things like on social media, he posted a fake conversation with Harry Styles. Like you would do as a joke if you don't know Harry Styles.
Yeah.
He would constantly tease a One Direction reunion. And he was the only member talking about that. Everyone else was like, oh, no, we're good. Because it actually is rare that they all had very successful solo careers.
Yeah.
In their eyes, like, they didn't need a One Direction reunion.
Yeah, they're the star of the show. They're fine. They have their own team, their own way of doing things. And then you don't need to open that can of worms where it's a bunch of people butting heads at the same time. And
it's not like the Backstreet Boys where it's like, let's get the band back together.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah, Backstreet Boys is like a great example. I mean, many of them, only one person or no people came out as solo acts that were successful.
Yeah, that's why this is really an anomaly, I would say.
Unprecedented.
And besides you, the larger population, I really don't think even knows the name of most of their songs.
Who, One Direction?
Yeah.
I know our fan base is a little older, but I'm sure that we got a decent amount that'll be like, what are you talking about, Alejandro?
That brings us to 2022. Liam made an infamous appearance on the Impulsive podcast, hosted by Logan Paul. During this interview, Liam came off as bitter towards his ex-bandmates.
Uh-oh.
And he boasted about outselling everyone else, which is absolutely insane.
9,000 in 1 week.
Yeah, and he claimed that Strip That Down was bigger than any single Harry Styles released.
That's not true.
And then he said that by their final album, they became a proper rock band.
Oh.
Rather than a cheesy boy band. So he thought that they evolved into something cooler than the average boy band because it was rock and roll.
Oh, you're saying that about One Direction?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And then he said members of the Eagles complimented them.
Well, that's cool.
On their sound.
You know?
I wouldn't really call them a rock band.
Take a win when you can get it.
I guess. But it seems like he was trying to rewrite history.
Yeah.
I have a clip here from this appearance. And in this clip, he talks about an altercation with one of his bandmates.
Uh-oh.
And he refuses to say the name.
I think it was well known within the band that I don't like taking shit at a certain point. I made it very obvious. I'm not going to tell you how. And there was one moment where there was an argument backstage and one member in particular threw me up a wall. So I said to him, if you don't remove those hands, there's a high likelihood you'll never use them again.
That is such a British thing to say.
I like how he says, and I'm not going to tell you how. And then he proceeds to tell the story.
Yeah.
And then here we have a reaction from Louis about that appearance.
All I'd say on that was, I think, which of those annoying Paul brothers was it?
Logan.
Right. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing, the buttons he was pressing.
Yeah, it's my buddy Zach Sang.
Oh.
Zach Sang and the gang almost worked for that show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so they had Louis Tomlinson on, and they got his reaction to the Impulsive appearance.
Yeah, he's great.
You notice how Louis said, which one of the annoying Paul brothers was it?
Yeah.
Because I guess Jake Paul had a feud with Zayn at one point, saying that he met him and Zayn was a D-bag or something.
Oh, boy.
And then Gigi Hadid wrote a message to him publicly saying, like, F off. Anyway, it's all very stupid.
Yeah.
So the Paul brothers not friends of One Direction.
Uh-huh.
Except maybe Liam at this point. But then, about 1.5 years later, Liam reflected on his appearance and he appeared contrite.
Came across really big-headed, didn't it? Wow. It was hard for me to watch back. I think in those moments when you make these videos, you don't realise the impact that your words might have on other people.
Yep.
That's part of the fame game, right? Sometimes you open your mouth, you try to be provocative, entertaining.
Yeah.
That interview blew up and everyone just thought that Liam came across badly.
Oof.
So that's what led him to apologize.
Yeah.
On another occasion, he threw shade at Harry Styles, saying, quote, "It's not my sort of music, but I think he did a great job of doing what he wanted to do."
That's great.
And then he said that it was from a different era than he was interested in.
That's what women do when they go to another woman's wedding. They're like, this is so great for her.
I love this on you.
It's so tacky. It's great for you. It's so you.
So obviously he's a little insecure about his solo success.
Or lack thereof.
Thank you. And besides those appearances, he would release videos on his YouTube channel talking about NFTs.
Oh, God.
So he met this guy named Gary V.
Oh, you say that like you don't know Gary?
Through Logan Paul.
Oh, God.
And he got really into NFTs, but then when he would try to explain what they are, it made no sense because nobody can explain NFTs and have it make sense. Liam was no different from anybody else. It's like an image of an image, but it's like it's not the original image. You can take a screenshot.
Yeah, they're like trading cards, and some of them, but they're also like smart contracts that, they're dumb.
You're not making any sense right now.
Yeah, they're dumb. Logan Paul actually is in a lot of trouble because his NFT crypto service was a complete sham. It's called Crypto Zoo, and he's being sued by everybody that bought into it. He's never paid them back, and he keeps saying, "Oh, I'll pay him back, and won't. So he, CoffeeZilla did like a huge thing on him and exposed him.
Wow.
And now he's trying to sue CoffeeZilla. It's a whole thing.
And Prime, his Prime drinks make your shit turn red.
Because of Prime, when the Olympics were happening, they came out with like an Olympic flavor, and they used all the slogans that the Olympics actually own. So the Olympics are suing Logan Paul too.
Jesus.
So this guy can't win.
No. And then he just launched a Lunchables ripoff called Lunchly with Mr. Beast.
Yep.
What a genius. He's like, I'm going to team up with the most controversial, hated guy on YouTube right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, they could say that about each other.
Yeah. And there was a woman who did like a live opening of one, and there was mold all over it.
How insane do you have to be?
They're getting sued by Lunchables too.
To want to launch a Lunchables competitor.
God.
So yeah, that's pretty much Liam's world.
Yeah.
Leading up to his final days.
Jeez.
Before we get to that, though, I have to address the situation with his ex-girlfriend, Maya Henry. He dated her from 2019 to 2022, and she claims that he stalked and harassed her. And he would call her through multiple phone numbers and message her through a bunch of fake accounts. At one point, he would message her friends behind her back and then tried to hook up with her bestie.
Oh, boy.
And she said that he preyed on One Direction fans because they were loyal and wouldn't tell on him. Allegedly, he said something to that effect to her. Why don't we listen to a clip? Recently, on October 6th, before his death, by the way, Maya released a TikTok video talking about these allegations.
Y'all don't even know what happens behind closed doors or in private. Ever since we broke up, he messages me, will blow up my phone, mind you, not only from his phone number, it's always from different phone numbers too, so I never know where it's going to come from. He'll create new iCloud accounts to iMessage me. It's always a damn new iCloud account. I'm like, every time I see one pop up on my phone, I'm like, here we fucking go again. Also, not only me, but he'll blow up my mom's phone.
I don't know why that was weirdly sped up. That was not me. That's how the clip is. So yeah, it gets kind of weird because she wrote a book called Looking Forward about an abusive, washed-up singer who used to be a member of a famous boy band.
Damn.
Fiction.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But except it's not really. But
it wasn't a memoir. It was legit passed off as fiction.
Yeah, it's fiction. Wow. Because the main character's name is Mallory and the boyfriend's name is Giam. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
Oliver. And instead of One Direction, the band is 5 Forward.
No way.
Really?
Wow.
So as she put it in interviews at the time, this was released last May, 2024. It's fiction inspired by true events.
Wow.
At one point in the book, Mallory is forced into having an abortion, and he gets aggressive with her. Obviously, this is really bad news for Liam. He did not want this book to come out. And she says that he contacted her constantly begging her not to release it.
I wonder if they tried to do a catch and kill. Like the lawyers were like, hey, we'll pay you $20 million if you just don't put this out.
Maybe, but she's the wrong person to do that with because a lot of fans were accusing her of clout chasing or trying to drum up publicity for her book.
Well, I mean, of course she is.
For monetary value. But then she actually comes from a really rich family. So she says she doesn't need the money.
Wow.
So it's not about money.
Damn.
So I said the book was released in May 2024. The same day that it hit shelves, Liam appeared at a documentary premiere in London supporting Louis Tomlinson's movie, All of Those Voices. It's this Paramount Plus documentary about Louis' solo career. I can't get over how famous each band member is. Like, they can release full movies just about one of the members.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey.
And during this red carpet appearance at the premiere, some fans were alarmed at Liam's gaunt appearance. He seemed much thinner. His cheeks were more sunken in. Didn't look the same because usually he had like a fuller face.
Yeah.
And when Louis was interviewed, he said that he actually didn't expect Liam to show up and was happily surprised.
Oh.
Some fans speculated that he made this appearance strategically to take away attention from the release of Maya Henry's book the same day. I don't know.
I would guess so.
Or he's just a friend supporting a friend, right?
Yeah, you know.
So yeah, I suspect that during his time with Maya, things were really bad for him. Because in 2023, Liam went to rehab to treat his alcoholism and drug abuse. He completed the program after 100 days. Doesn't that seem long?
Well, it depends on the severity of the, the addiction you get there.
Yeah, I guess. And so he scheduled a solo tour upon his release that would be in fall 2023. But unfortunately, it had to be postponed due to a kidney infection for which he was hospitalized.
Kidney infection came back up.
It did.
Wow.
Do you think that could be triggered by any of the abuse?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, the kidneys are the ones that are helping you flush out all the toxins in your body. So you're putting a bunch of bad stuff in. You could absolutely cause yourself a kidney infection.
Yeah. And that brings us to the chapter I call Final Days. Liam and his then current girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, they'd been dating a couple years at this point, arrived in Buenos Aires, Argentina on September 30th, 2024, in order to attend a concert by former bandmate Niall Horan.
Yeah.
Niall Horan's playing down there. Woo! And I think we might just go and say, hello. It's been a while since me and Niall have spoken. We've got a lot to talk about. And I would like to square up a couple things with the boy. No bad vibes or anything like that, but just, we need to talk.
Liam had previously attended a concert of Louis in Uruguay a few months before.
So he's out supporting.
Or is he trying to get the band back together?
Oh, he could be.
Relive the glory days.
Could be.
Or he's a good friend.
Yeah.
So Niall's show was on October 2nd. And this is interesting because his appearance here ignited this whole conversation on the internet. Because some people thought he was obnoxious.
Oh, wow.
He vlogged about the concert on Snapchat, and he made a big production of being seen from the VIP booth, mugging for the cameras, dancing, taking selfies. Beforehand, he had a meet and greet outside his hotel and signed autographs for fans. People compared this to Harry Styles. When Harry went to see Niall perform, he kind of stayed in the back, low-key, wasn't really seen.
Yeah.
So people claim that Liam was trying to steal Niall's thunder.
Oh.
And I have a clip of him at the show.
Okay.
He's dancing to the Macarena during an intermission.
Insecurity's trying to get him.
Yeah. Simmer down now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about those accusations.
Yeah.
Because what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, it looks like a guy just having a good time.
Yeah, but a lot of people felt very strongly, maybe based on everything else that added up.
Yeah.
That there was something off about it, that he was a little too eager to be seen.
Maybe. But he's also, probably having a little bit of fun. Extracurricular recreational activities.
I see.
And that'll make you do, make you want to feel part of the party.
And he posed for photos with Niall after the concert, where Niall appeared happy to see him.
Good.
At least in the photo.
Yeah.
If pictures could talk, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, as I mentioned, I think the mix of Maya Henry's book and just the Logan Paul interview, all the shit he said through the years.
Yeah.
And this appearance at the concert, he became a target on the internet and social media commentary channels. He became what's called a lol cow. Do you know what that is?
Just the laughing stock of the internet.
Exactly. Just Google Stuttering John.
Yeah.
And Dabbleverse. Chris Chan. Then you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And here I have an example of a typical video. So this was posted after the concert appearance. This is from a YouTuber called Film Cooper. And the original title to the video was Liam Payne, the washed up cringe supervillain. I love your reaction. Your eyes are wide.
Wow, that's shots fired, right?
So let's hear what Film Cooper has to say.
The only people who are defending Liam Payne are people who are so parasocial, so parasocial about One Direction, that they're like, well, this could impact the reunion. No, we can't cause any conflict between the boys. The boys can't have any. I cannot tell you enough how much Zayn motherfucking Malik will never be on stage with Liam Payne again. Get it through your fucking skull. The reunion is not happening with Liam Payne. If you want the reunion, get him off. The guy is a freaky creep.
Wow.
Tell us how you really feel.
I mean, he's talking about parasocial relationships, but he's getting more fired up than anybody, it seems like.
Yeah. And part of the reason he was really fired up are based on the Maya Henry allegations.
Yeah.
And then there were some other people that came out of the woodwork. Girls that claimed that they were One Direction fans and he would reach out to them to try to get nudes. I have a clip of one of them telling their story.
Okay, so I was a One Direction fan. Liam was my favorite. He knew that. He messaged me on Instagram. And at first I was like, oh my God, he's messaging me on Instagram. Like, this is so cool. Like, what? How is this happening? And then it turned into him asking me for explicit videos, explicit photos, and I would send them because I was like, it's Liam Payne, I'm gonna send them. Like, this was me being delusional at age 24, 25.
She's 24? All right, no, I will not listen to your story about how you're a victim sending your tits at 24 years old. Get out of my face, dude. No, I'm Team Liam on this one.
There's an argument I heard also from this YouTuber.
Yeah.
She said that you can never date a fan if you're famous.
Well, I mean, that's the smart thing to do is to not go into your fan pool, especially on social media.
Because it's a uneven power balance if they're a fan of yours.
Well, yeah, of course. But if you want to ride the coattails, then go right ahead. You can try. But you're not a victim because it doesn't work out the way you want it to.
If the girl was 18, he didn't even ask the age, but like, what if she wasn't?
Yeah.
So I don't even want to get into all that. All this is being talked about very recently.
Sure.
Which is why he was such a big topic of a conversation.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Argentina. Liam and his girlfriend Kate had been staying at their friend's ranch. Then on Monday, October 14th, Kate packed up and left the country before Liam, heading back to their new home in Florida.
This is the part that confuses me.
Yeah, so they had recently moved into a mansion in Palm Beach County.
In Palm Beach County, that's where like people go to retire. That's where Boca del Vista from Seinfeld is pretty much.
Well, when you have $50 million.
Had.
Well, if you have $50 million,
yeah,
I'd retire too.
Sure.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'd probably still do the podcast.
Oh, I'd definitely do the podcast.
All right.
On a bigger scale.
Hey.
On a grander scale.
I meant to say I would most definitely do the podcast.
You sound very into it. Wow. Already quitting with the fake 50 million in your head.
And I bet you're wondering, why did Liam stay behind? Well, it's because his non-immigration visa had expired. He was in the process of renewing it and planned to fly out later in the week.
Oh.
Reportedly, he had been clean and sober while staying with his friends, and so he passed the necessary drug test that was required by the U.S. Embassy, because they had their eye on him because he had this history behind him.
Wow.
Yeah. So in the meantime, he left his friend's ranch and checked into the Casa Sur Hotel. located in the trendy neighborhood of Palermo in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Palermo.
Lots of cool bars, art galleries, and fancy restaurants. So this is where things really ramp up. That same day, Monday, October 14th, ex-girlfriend Maya Henry goes on a podcast called The Internet is Dead. On the podcast, she says that's where she shared the story that Liam had called her and begged her not to publish the book. And then he made a comment that he wouldn't be around much longer.
Oh, shit.
She dismissed it as yet another manipulation tactic to try and silence her. Her appearance on the podcast coincided with her taking real legal action against Liam. She issued him a cease and desist letter accusing him of obsessively stalking her, including contacting her family members, and weaponizing the One Direction fan base against her, saying he was getting his stans to attack her.
Which is probably more than likely true.
Yeah, well...
He wouldn't even need to. As soon as people find out that she's writing a book that's loosely based on how she was treated by Liam, then the fans are going to do their thing anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's another crushing blow for him. Universal Music dropped him from their record label. So he's stressing about his legal issues, not to mention the visa situation, plus all the internet chatter, and now he's dropped by the record label. You wouldn't know that following his social media, though. His final posts were upbeat, and that timeline is unclear. Although they were posted that week, they were recorded earlier. And these are from Snapchat. One of them is a picture of him and Kate in their swimsuits. Another is a photo where he's in jeans, a t-shirt, and baseball hat, sitting in a chair with his knees together, looking off in the distance. And the caption is, Halloween costume idea, Forrest Gump.
Nice.
And then there was this video.
Morning, everybody. Here's a little video of me. It's rude to put hats on the table.
Sorry.
Is this your hat?
Yeah.
Children. It's a lovely day here in Argentina. This is the breakfast table.
I'm just eating an orange.
Just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's like 1 p.m.
Literally, we sleep in every day until at least 12. We're such losers.
Hey, you're on vacation.
No.
No.
Yeah, it's upbeat.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
Things are going well.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't remain lovely for long.
Jeez.
Wednesday, October 16th. We're at the Casa Sur Hotel, you remember?
Yes. In Palermo.
Liam was spotted hanging out with two mystery lady friends. According to the Argentine newspaper La Nación, they were actually sex workers.
Yeah.
With troubled pasts.
Oh, boy.
They were identified as Aldana Serrano and Lucila Goitia. Their ID cards were photographed by a worker upon their arrival at the hotel. They said they met Liam through an escort website. That afternoon, they hung out with him and drank alcohol. The party was cut short, however, when an argument ignited regarding payment for their services.
Oh, boy.
Around 4 p.m., an agitated Liam followed them out into the street where he was seen arguing with them. He was overheard saying, "I'll give you $20,000 just because I can. I have $55 million and I like to help people."
Well, that's nice.
After they left,
He's a charitable guy.
It's heartwarming.
Yeah.
After they left, Liam began pacing and went back into the building. A female guest who spoke to the media anonymously said it seemed like he was trying to get attention in the lobby. Out of the blue, he turned to her and said, "Yes, I'm Liam Payne."
Oh, God.
Then he sat down and started reading emails from his computer out loud. According to eyewitnesses, he then smashed up his laptop and went upstairs.
Yeah.
His aggressive behavior caused the staff to call 911. An unverified report states that he might have been carried back to his room.
Yeah.
At around 5 p.m., police received a frantic call from the manager about an aggressive man who could be under the influence of drugs or alcohol and that he was destroying his hotel room. We have the 911 call. And Kyle, could you actually read the subtitles for our audience?
Yes.
I
She said 911, what's your emergency? And he's saying, well, we've got a guest who's had too many drugs and alcohol. When he's conscious, he's trashing the entire room. And we need you to send someone, please. He's under the effects of alcohol and drugs? Yes. We need you to send someone urgently because I don't know whether his life may be in danger. He's in a room with a balcony and, well, we're a little afraid.
Yikes.
And that's it, yeah.
So around 5:04 p.m., Liam Payne fell from the third floor balcony 45 feet into the courtyard below, killing him instantly. By the time authorities arrived on the scene, he was already on the ground. A broken whiskey bottle, lighter, and cell phone were found nearby. Alberto Crescenti, head of the Buenos Aires Emergency Services, said, quote, Mr. Payne had a cranial fracture on the base of his skull and extremely serious injuries that led to his immediate death.
Jeez.
I like how on the nose he is with that.
Yeah. Well, the first term they came out with was polytrauma.
Yeah. And then he added that although they made their best effort to resuscitate him, his injuries were, quote, incompatible with life.
Oof.
He was officially pronounced dead at 5:11 p.m. And when I got the alert for this, I was actually confused because, like I said, he had become a subject on the internet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, God, why do I keep seeing stuff on Liam Payne? Because I hadn't actually clicked on any of the videos yet. I'm like, what did he do this time? Then I saw Liam Payne dead.
Jeez.
And so it hit me like, oh, I got to watch those videos now.
Yeah.
Because clearly he was up to something. It was just odd, like how close everything was. Or not, though, actually, because now that it's all laid out, it sort of makes sense that it was leading to this.
Yeah.
Daily Mail posted exclusive photos from inside his hotel room showing a shocking scene. There was a smashed-in TV and lots of drugs. Looked like the result of a rampage. Authorities also found energy supplements and meds, including the benzoclonazepam, which is the generic form of Klonopin. And that's supposed to help reduce anxiety and promote relaxation. If I were Liam, I'd ask for my money back on that one.
Yeah, jeez.
Kyle, this is not a time for jokes.
I mean, you can't, no amount of Klonopin's going to outdo the other things that he did.
A coffee table in the hotel room was covered in burn marks and what appeared to be drug residue in the form of white powder, along with a homemade aluminum pipe, plus other ripped up pieces of tinfoil and a lighter. More aluminum foil was found in the bathtub, as well as a melted candle. TMZ received an enormous amount of complaints after posting photos of his dead body on their website. And then, you know, the trolls come out sometimes after a famous death.
Yeah.
In the minutes following news of Liam's death, the hotel was flooded with comments on Google reviews. Among genuine feedback, there were insensitive jokes.
Oof. Gallows humor.
One said, "Great hotel. The view from the third floor is to die for." And another said, "I like the hotel. They are managing it in the right direction. Some noise in the afternoons on the third floor, though, but otherwise fine." The autopsy revealed he died from polytrauma. You mentioned that.
Polytrauma.
What is polytrauma?
It's the newest band to come out of Simon Cowell's X Factor, Polytrauma.
It sounds like if trauma was in an open marriage or something. So he died from that and an internal and external hemorrhage. There were 25 injuries consistent with a fall from that height. The report goes on to label the circumstances of his death as dubious. So I teased this earlier. Preliminary toxicology findings showed that he had multiple substances in his system, including pink cocaine.
Yes.
That's another. What is pink cocaine? I've read that it's like a combo of methamphetamine, ketamine.
Yeah.
Why is it called pink cocaine then?
Because they dye all that shit together and make it pink.
Jesus Christ. People actually take this.
People snort it, yeah.
Oh my God.
A death wish, in my opinion.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
But that's not what killed him.
It's definitely a contributing factor.
So yeah, Liam was 31 years old. And he left behind his girlfriend, Kate, of 2 years, and 7-year-old son, Bear.
Ugh.
And USA Today had an interesting quote. People fall. Sometimes they are pushed. Other times they go too close to the edge. Sometimes they jump. So what happened here?
It's very difficult. I don't know. How tall was he? Do we know?
Not offhand.
Payne height.
I imagine not very.
5'10", which is probably more like 5'8", because people always lie.
I'm 5'10".
Okay.
And I really am.
Yeah, I think you're really 5'10".
Okay.
But it's very difficult. I mean, a lot of these hotels, when they do have balconies, the balconies are very high on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very difficult to be so messed up that you just fell over and your feet came up over your head and you were gone.
That's the other question. Was he conscious during the fall? Because investigators stated in a press conference from the Argentina National Prosecutor's Office that, quote, due to the position of which the body was left, they believed that Payne did not adopt a reflexive posture to protect himself and that he could have fallen in a state of semi or total unconsciousness.
I think he was just in an altered state of consciousness, which they inhibit reactions, and that's why you're not allowed to drive drunk, because you're inebriated. You don't have the proper reflexes to
that's why.
Drive safely. Yes.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that he was most likely conscious. You can't just fall over a balcony unconscious. I don't know, it's too weird.
But you can black out.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you're not conscious. It just means that you don't remember the next day. You don't know when you're blacked out. You're still having fun.
Apparently.
Yeah.
They also said that Liam appeared to have been alone at the time of his fall. Those sex workers are not suspects. And that he was, quote, going through some kind of breakdown as a result of substance abuse.
Yeah.
No signs of defensive wounds. In a conflicting report, police say not only was he awake, but that he jumped on purpose.
That's what I think. I don't think there's really any other way. Unless there's video footage of these girls, one has each leg, and they're trying to dump them over like it's friggin' Royal Rumble. Trying to flip them over the top. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think he was going through a lot, and then some people, especially if he said to that girl that he wasn't going to be around much longer anyway, he might have been having the thoughts. And sometimes it's just like, the only way you can explain it is that you see the opening and you just jump through it.
Yeah. Well, I think that brings us to
Final thoughts.
I was reading this article from NBC News, and they say that Liam Payne's death is a watershed moment for One Direction fans. They interviewed one super fan who said that she was distraught. Quote, "It's really hard. What do you do with grief when it's somebody that you don't know, but you have this really dull ache in your chest?"
Yeah, it is. I mean, the sad part about all this is that now they're probably going to do a reunion. And it's going to be bigger than ever.
His death was in the midst of all this internet chatter about his life drama. So then a lot of the videos turned into, they would label them, "I made this before his death."
Yeah.
And that guy, Film Cooper, he changed the thumbnail and changed the title from Liam Payne's supervillain to the more generic, The Liam Payne Situation.
Oh my God. I don't like that guy.
Yeah, he is kind of annoying.
So many people have parasocial relationships and they get them all worked up.
Yeah,
it's like you have no clue. You're talking about yourself, buddy.
I know. And he's one of those annoying YouTubers with the really intense editing. Like, bruh, come on. And then it'll go slow motion like, come on. And then really fast, like, come on. It's like, what are we watching here?
Film Cooper.
Yeah, that's entertainment.
I guess.
So through all this, I have to say, look, the allegations from the fans... If you don't know exactly what happened, so I got to put that aside.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the rest of it, his behavior at Niall's concert, even the cattiness through the years. Come on. I mean, that's forgivable. I think he was just a really lost guy.
Yeah.
With too much money and had a real identity crisis. And that guy who we were just talking about, the YouTuber, commenting on him like, why are you so angry about Liam Payne? Like, who cares?
Yeah. What's going on in your life, pal?
Yeah, but you have to remember, though, some of this is because of the Maya Henry stuff and the other allegations.
Yeah, and people just jump on being like, oh, I'm going to white knight this and you know, be the voice for the voiceless.
And they love a lol cow.
Yeah.
A punching bag on the internet.
Hey, they string you up to knock you down.
Yeah.
That's the pinata effect.
And so you might be wondering what the One Direction bandmates have to say about all this. Niall Horan wrote on Instagram, Liam was the brightest in every room and always made everyone feel happy and secure. Maybe not everybody.
Yeah.
Harry Styles said, he lived wide open with his heart on his sleeve, and then described him as warm, supportive, and incredibly loving. Zayn Malik, who is rumored to have had a feud with him.
Yeah.
Shared a throwback photo of him and Liam when they were teenagers, and then admitted that they butted heads over the years, but that he will, quote, cherish all the memories I have with you in my heart forever. There are no words to justify or explain how I feel right now other than beyond devastated. Louis Tomlinson posted a photo and called him the most vital part of One Direction.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's high praise.
And this is kind of moving. He promised to look out for Payne's sorry, I don't know why I'm getting tears.
Oh, here we go. We got more tears.
To look after his son Bear.
Yeah.
Saying, quote, he'll be the uncle he needs in his life.
Damn.
I really don't know why I'm crying.
Because you're an uncle.
And that he'll tell him stories of how amazing his dad was.
Wow.
I like how I went from not crying for years.
Yeah, and then
now I'm like a crybaby.
Floodgates are open, baby.
I think it has to do with the whooping cough.
Sure, yeah.
No, I've been ill for a while.
Life is softening you up.
No, it's not.
You're becoming human.
And then One Direction, the entity, posted a group message on Instagram saying they're completely devastated and it's going to take time to grieve and process the loss of our brother.
Yeah.
Who we loved dearly.
Yeah, I think the perfect way to explain it is a word you said earlier. Is just it was lost. And it's really hard to find yourself when you're surrounded by people who are in admiration of you every single room you walk into. There's nobody to kind of check you. You're just, and he might have been waiting for someone like that, but it's just, it's really, really sad, especially with him having a kid. And
it's just like you put it, it's a sad saga.
Yeah, it's tough. And especially when you're trying to work your way through all that while using drugs, and especially the hard drugs that he was doing, like the
pink cocaine.
Meth is just not something to mess around with ever.
Jeez.
Not like any of them else are, but, you know, we've been known to dabble every once in a while, and as we go through life, you know, there's certain things that you give a try, you know, bucket list stuff, but meth should just never be one of those things.
Just watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
That'll show you how fun meth is.
Yeah.
Anything else, Kyle?
Oh, it's really tough. Anytime there's like a possible suicide, it's just, it rattles you.
So we can put that to rest. He wasn't pushed.
I mean, we don't know.
Probably didn't accidentally trip and fall over the side.
Yeah, I would say most likely he did it himself, yeah.
I think there is a possibility that he was out of his mind, blacked out, and maybe was sitting on the rail and fell or something.
Yeah, I mean, he could have jumped up trying to be funny, but it sounds like he was in a bad mood.
Or even break the rail. Looks like he was breaking everything in the hotel room, so maybe he went up to the rail like, I'm going to try, like he's the Hulk. I'm going to try to break this, and then flies over.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't say that like you are entertaining that possibility.
Certainly possible, you know?
All right, well, R.I.P. Liam Payne.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
You've got mail.
Oh, we got a mailbag here.
Okay, what do we got this week, Kyle?
Wow. This is from the Poltergeist episode. Panda Jr. 77 said one of the ghost hunters from the first movie was in a plane crash. And we assumed that they were saying that they died in a plane crash. But the eerie part about this, we looked it up. It was a man named Richard Lawson. And he switched seats before the plane took off and survived said plane crash. That is creepy.
Jeez.
So thank you for that. 5 days ago from Goozerful. Kyle is extra funny today, and Alejandro's voice is like butter to me. Ooh, slather that on.
Thank you.
Ooh, buttery. buttery voice, Dowling.
Put this on your bread.
Not Live 43 just said, just finished listening. This is for the Poltergeist episode. Oh, these are all Poltergeist episodes. Said Kyle seemed pretty ... passionate. I'm pretty sure I remember that scene from Indiana Jones. I doubt it's in any new copies of the movie, though.
Yeah, you hit Spielberg pretty hard last week.
Yes, because he likes to hit young things.
Oh, gosh. So you obviously have no regrets?
Zero.
You're back at it.
No regrets.
Okay.
The Spud Taylor said, my new favorite podcast. Really enjoyed everything, and this was the cherry on the cake.
Thank you.
Not even the sundae. It was on the cake. Thank you, Spud Taylor. Yeah, so that is quite a sad tale that we went through today.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what your guys' thoughts are. Did he fall on purpose? What happened? Let us know. And get ready, because next week is the 4th annual Halloween Spooktacular.
Ooh, and you'll have to find out what serial killer will be our subject. And in the meantime, give us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this.
Yes.
And check out our YouTube channel.
Subscribe on YouTube, 5 stars on everything else.
And until next week,
don't go dying on us.
Bye.
You have just heard
a true Hollywood murder mystery.
I have never seen anything like this before.
The movies, Broadway, music, television, all of it.
A place that manufactures nightmares.
Okay, everybody, that's a wrap.
Good night. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon.